Sergeant Carl Bradley, and I'll be your narrator for today's ceremony. On behalf of General Lori Robinson, the Commander, Pacific Air Forces, and our presiding official, the 374th Airlift Wing Commander, Colonel Douglas De La Mater, we welcome you to the Change of Command ceremony for the Air Force Band of the Pacific.
皆様、今日のナレーターを務めますカール・ブラッドリー総長です。太平洋空軍の司令官ロリー・ロビンソン大将と第374冬航空団司令官ダグラス・デラマター大佐に成り代わり、米国空軍太平洋音楽隊の隊長交代式に列席いただきましたことを嬉しく思います。
The change of command is a traditional military ceremony in which the departing commander assembles their troops for presentation to the incoming commander.
交代式は伝統的な軍の儀式で、部隊のリーダーシップや責任が次の指揮官に移ることを公的に知らせる役目がございます。
History reveals that as early as ancient Rome, standards representing national or clan origins were carried by advancing armies into battle. In later times, knights would carry crests on their coat of arms as well as on their shields, allowing their troops to rally to the standard throughout the battle. During the American Civil War, each lieutenant organization carried into battle its own set of colors.
歴史を紐解きますと、早くも古代ローマ時代には出身国や一族を表す気象旗が前進する軍によって戦に運び込まれました。後に騎士は紋章や盾の上にクレスト、飾りのようなものを運びました。そして戦闘中に部隊が再集結できるようにしたのです。アメリカ南北戦争時代は各部隊は戦闘に所属の旗を持参いたしました。
Today, the passing of the colors and the honor to carry them remains a prestigious honor. An important aspect of the change of command, which has remained the same over time, is the public manner in which authority is passed from the departing commander to their successor. This act shows the public acceptance of responsibilities that are passed to the new commander. This ceremony, just as it has for centuries, adds special color and pageantry to military life while simultaneously preserving tradition and inspiring esprit de corps.
旗の受け渡し、旗を運ぶ栄誉は威厳ある名誉として今日も残っております。比較的当時と変わらない交代式の重要な点は、支配権が旧指導者から新指導者へ受け渡すその方法となっております。この行いは新しい指揮官が責任を公的に受け取ることを表しております。数世紀にわたり、この儀式は軍人の生活に特別な礼儀作法をもたらし、同時に伝統を重んじ団結心を鼓舞いたします。
Shortly, Major Cristina Urrutia will assume command of the Air Force Band of the Pacific from Captain Haley Armstrong. Singing the Japanese and U.S. national anthems will be a member of the Air Force Band of the Pacific from Yokota Air Base, Japan, Senior Airman Rebecca Allen.
まもなくクリスティーナ・モア・ウルティア少佐がヘイリー・アームストロング隊より太平洋空軍音楽隊の指揮権を引き継ぎます。日米両国家独唱は横田空軍基地所属太平洋空軍音楽隊の隊員レベッカ・アレン上級空兵です。
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the singing of the national anthems and invocation.
皆様、司令官隊長一行が入場いたしますのでご起立ください。国歌独唱祈りの間はそのままご起立ください。
君が代は千代に苔の broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Chaplain Fonseca, please deliver the invocation.
大阪牧師お祈りをお願いいたします。
A good man of God once said, "He who sings prays twice." On this special day for our Air Force Band of the Pacific, this invocation will be chanted. Let us pray. Most gracious and loving God, we invoke your most holy name in this day with words of thanksgiving and petition. You have always been present to us, constantly revealing your unconditional love and care. We give you thanks today for the Air Force Band of the Pacific, whose members inspired and uplift the hearts and minds of thousands of our men and women serving around the Pacific. They especially tell the story of the Air Force through the universal language of music. We especially ask today for your blessings upon this important moment in the life of the Air Force Band of the Pacific, when the command is assumed by Major Cristina Urrutia. As Major Urrutia assumes the responsibility of commanding this band, we pray that your wisdom be upon her in the many responsibilities concerning the commitments of this band, and much courage and confidence to act upon them. Enable, Lord, we pray, that Major Urrutia may keep maintaining an environment in which the mission can be accomplished and work may be rewarding for all. May she always strive to assist the members of this band to grow and develop far beyond their capabilities, so that they, in turn, can assist others to grow and develop fully, building a strong and healthy Air Force community. Finally, we give you thanks for the outstanding leadership of Captain Haley Armstrong, the outgoing commandant of this band. Under her command, the Air Force Band of the Pacific has always been conducted smoothly in an atmosphere of professionalism, respect, and high-quality music within the military. Her tireless efforts to accomplish an excellent job proved her innate passion to provide our 374th Airlift Wing, 5th Air Force, United States Joint Forces Japan personnel, and 10 units with the most outstanding musical performances throughout the Air Force Pacific. And lastly, we ask your blessings, Lord, upon Captain Haley Armstrong, her husband Brian, and Kat Schutze, as they soon transition to Washington, D.C., to new duties and career challenges. All of this we pray in your most holy name. Amen.
Thank you Senior Airman Allen and Chaplain Fonseca. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
アレンジをそしてfonセカ牧師ありがとうございました。どうぞお待ちください。
Before we begin, I would like to introduce the official party for today's event.
開会に際し本日の司令官隊長一行をご紹介いたします。
The presiding official for today's ceremony, the commander, 374th Airlift Wing, Colonel Douglas De La Mare.
本日のダグラス・デラマタ大佐。
The outgoing commander of the Air Force Band of the Pacific, Captain Haley Armstrong.
太平洋空軍
The incoming commander of the Air Force Band of the Pacific, Major Cristina Moore Urrutia. We are honored to have some very special guests in attendance today. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced.
今日は特別なお客様にご参加いただいております。全員の紹介が終わりましたら拍手をお願いいたします。
The Command Chief, 374th Airlift Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Paul Elliott and his wife Mickey.
第374空輸航空団のコマンドチーフポール・エリオット上層部隊最上級総長と奥様のミキさん。
The Air Force Band of the Pacific Manager, Chief Master Sergeant Stephen Fitz.
太平洋空軍音楽隊マネージャースティーブン・フィッツ最上級総長。
The President of Akiruno Yokota Friendship Club, Mr. Moritoshi Kobayashi.
アキルの横田交流クラブ会長小林森俊様。
The President of Fusa Yokota Goodwill Exchange Club, Mr. Hisato Nozawa.
フッサ横田交流クラブ会長野沢久人様。
The President of Mizuho Yokota Friendship Club, Mr. Masaoki Inomata.
みずほ横田交流協会会長猪俣正興様。
The Senior Enlisted Advisor to the JASDEF Operation Support Wing, Warrant Officer Yoichi Akimoto.
航空自衛隊作戦システム運用隊準総司専任秋元陽一準空尉。
Finally, we would like to recognize all other samurai and Kenzai warriors in the audience today, as well as all Yokota Friendship Association members and the men and women of the Air Force Band of the Pacific, both here and from Joint Base Pearl Harbor, Hickam.
最後に本日ご参加のすべての侍県政ウォリアー、横田交流協会クラブ、そして地元吹奏楽団よりご参加の皆様、横田空軍基地とパールハーバーヒッカム統合基地より太平洋空軍音楽隊の参加を光栄に思います。
Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, 374th Airlift Wing, Colonel Douglas De La Mare.
皆様第一
Good afternoon, Distinguished Friendship Association leadership. Kobayashi-san. Friendship Association members, Japanese Air Self-Defense Force members, and especially Chief Akimoto. Esteemed joint partners, several in the room. Group commanders, several in the room. Squadron commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, and most importantly today, airmen of the Band of the Pacific, welcome. And of course, many of those airmen join us today through the miracle of video recording technology, all the way from Hickam Air Force Base. I believe Colonel Dave Hanschul will be watching this at the head of the Pacific's public affairs team, along with the men and the women of the Band of Pacific, Hawaii, at his side. And as such, this ceremony marks a first for me, and probably for some in the room, as this is the only change of command I've had the honor of presiding over, wherein the members of the command were joined through real-time video teleconference technology, recording technology. I've done this before with family members, separated by vast differences, but never before with the unit members themselves being on different continents. And so, regardless of the technical issues we're experiencing, I applaud the ingenuity and persistence of all involved in trying to make this happen and make this unique ceremony possible. And I'm sure it'll be just as good in instant replay as it is in live. So before I go any further, I'd like to extend a special note of thanks to Colonel Dave Hanschul. Dave already knows how much I appreciate his leadership and stewardship, but I wanted to just point out how highly Dave is thought of, not only by me, but by the members of this band, who have described Dave as, and I quote, the only person that sees all parts of the public affairs enterprise as one thing. And that checks. Dave, it's an honor to be here. Sincere personal thanks for your vision, your leadership, and your unfailing support. And of course, it's always an honor to preside over a change in command in our United States Air Force at any level. And today's very special for me, in that in addition to its intercontinental flavor, this change in command is the first one that I've had the privilege of participating in for a military band. As a lifelong musician myself, and as a student of military history, my personal and professional appreciation for the significance, the relevance, and the impact of military music, and indeed musicians, runs very deep. But my appreciation for this band, in particular, the Band of the Pacific, and its Hawaii detachment, is also somewhat personal. See, the members of this band have uniquely supported the units which I've had the privilege of leading since well before my time as a PACAF airman, which started only one short year ago. In fact, members of this band, led by Captain Armstrong herself, performed for the men and women of the 386th Air Expeditionary Wing at Ali Al Salim Air Base in Kuwait, while I was the operations group commander there in 2013. And while I remember very clearly how the morale of the wing was bolstered by their presence and their performances, little did I know then that my appreciation for your talent, your dedication, your professionalism, and your selfless service would grow into a sense of what I think I can tell you will be a lifelong sense of gratitude. It's a sense of gratitude for what you did for the airmen of the 41st Airlift Squadron when I was serving as their commander during a part of their 4+ years of continuous deployment to the CENTCOM AOR. And I need to take a moment to make one quick shout out here. To a former 41st Airlift Squadron member in attendance through the miracle of modern technology, you all know him, Staff Sergeant Nick Daniels, who now serves among you as part of the Band of the Pacific, Hawaii. And talk about inadvertently having an opportunity to pay it forward. Based on Nick's performance with the Band of the Pacific, Hawaii, follow along here, at Yokota during our 4th of July celebration a couple of weeks ago, it turns out that supporting Nick's request to transition from being a C-130J loadmaster at Little Rock to a band member in the Pacific was clearly one of the best decisions I made as an airlift squadron commander. Suffice it to say, it was very cool to see Staff Sergeant Daniels on stage alongside the Band of the Pacific Hawaii, entertaining the entirety of Team Yokota, right here in Tokyo. Nick, literally, we've come a long way from Little Rock. It was great to see you, but I digress. So, again, it is a sense of profound gratitude that I feel for what the Band of the Pacific did to support not only the airmen of the 41st, but again, the airmen of the 386th Expeditionary Wing in Kuwait. And of course, I have a deep sense of gratitude as the commander of the 374th Airlift Wing, which of course has the distinct honor of having the Band of the Pacific as a premier mission partner here at Yokota Air Base. Our gratitude for who you are, what you do as the world-famous Band of the Pacific also runs very deep. So thank you for all that you do for our nation, for the men and women of our United States Air Force, and for the men and women of this wing. I just point out as well that the presence here today at this ceremony of friends and leaders from our local communities is strong testimony to the positive impact you have as our nation's very, very best of ambassadors at a very, very important moment in history, and arguably the most strategically important region of the world at this moment. As several of my fellow wing commanders and several of my senior mentors have put it, having a band on one's installation is a powerful force multiplier. As such, they call me lucky, and they're right. So thank you for letting me be part of this historic occasion today. This occasion, of course, is meant to celebrate the command of Captain Haley Armstrong, thank her for a job well done, and welcome a new commander, the exceptionally well-qualified Major Cristina Urrutia, as the new commander of the Band of the Pacific. And while we'll soon hear about the recent achievements of the band when we read the citation to accompany Captain Armstrong's well-earned Air Force Commendation Medal, I'd like to touch on one event in particular, very quickly, that highlights the strategic importance of what the Band of the Pacific has continued to do so well under Haley's command. I'm of course talking about the trip earlier this month of the Band of the Pacific to China, and the resounding success the trip represented to both our nations, largely as the result of leadership vision and one Captain Haley Armstrong. You see, because of the challenges facing our nation's most senior decision makers, as they seek to lead a strategically necessary rebalance to the Pacific and simultaneously enhance the relationships we maintain with emerging near-peer competitors and other nations in the region, military-to-military engagement is one of the most important activities we, as Pacific Airmen, will support in our careers with many nations. Now, as we all know and appreciate, the power of music is part of the human experience, is part of our very nature, is a power that transcends borders, transcends politics, and links us together as citizens of the world, no matter what the issue of the day may be. It's hard, it's impossible to portray our musicians as maleficent, especially when they reach out in the spirit of goodwill, seeking only to increase the mutual understanding of the peoples of many nations and each other. And so as our leaders contemplate the possibilities of military-to-military exchanges and formal officer education exchanges throughout the region, which are contentious and uncertain in the minds of many, Captain Armstrong and the Band of the Pacific, you guys right out here, joining us on Skype, are leading us, all of us, by successful example. In short, Haley understands the power of music, understands the power of engagement, and based on her leadership, has made it a matter of record, and I quote, "It all starts with the band." So to Captain Armstrong, it's an honor to be able to say thank you. Please know that I and every airman of the 374th Airlift Wing and the members of the Band of the Pacific will always be appreciative of the leadership you displayed in your superb command. You've certainly earned your place on the list of past commanders of this proud unit. And please let me say this as well. I know that Haley will continue to serve superbly as a member of the 11th Wing, Air Force District of Washington, the parent wing of the United States Air Force Band, where I know you will serve with distinction. The 11th Wing and its commander, Colonel Brad Hoagland, who is a good friend of mine, are indeed very lucky to have you. And regarding Captain Armstrong's assignment to the 11th Wing, I'd point out that their commander, Colonel Hoagland, before taking command of the 11th Wing, most recently served as the Vice Wing Commander of the 386th Air Expeditionary Wing at Ali Al Salim Air Base, Kuwait, from 2013 to 2014. As such, he witnessed the impact of the Band of the Pacific on the airmen of the 386th Air Expeditionary Wing in real time, just like I did. And so was their assignment a coincidence? I think not. I think Colonel Hoagland is a great judge of character and leadership potential, and I think you'll agree with me that he chose Captain Armstrong very, very wisely. And to Haley's husband, David, who Haley describes as a rock star, which is high praise indeed coming from a conductor, and her parents, Jim and Shauna, back in Sonora, California, thank you for your incredibly selfless support of Haley. Please know that every countless moment of your sacrifice helped make safe our countrymen and the free peoples of the world. The example we just discussed of the historic engagement is just one example of the critical activities Haley's service has enabled, especially now and especially here. So thank you. Thank you for encouraging and supporting Haley through these many years. These last three of command in particular. We here, all of us, are in your debt. And so to those here assembled and joining us, if you would, please join me in a well-deserved round of applause in thanks to the entire extended Armstrong family. But now it's time that we turn towards the future, and today, Major Cristina Urrutia will take command of the Band of the Pacific. And as you'd expect of a commander in our United States Air Force, and especially a commander of a strategic asset like the Band of the Pacific, Major Urrutia's professional record is impressive, both as an accomplished musician and as an Air Force officer. Now, the accolades of our commanders truly never cease to amaze me. And those of you who have had to sit through a change of command ceremony with me in the past know I like to highlight some of those things. From Christina's records, I'd like just to touch on a few things, and I quote, exceptional leader, sought after mentor, dynamic and visionary commander. Now those comments all come from a guy named Lieutenant General Robert Allardyce, who was the Vice Commander of Air Mobility Command. Lieutenant General Allardyce is relatively famous in the airlift world, and the highest praise that he would ever bestow on an officer was the title of commander. It was personal, it was real, and to have him document these things in your records is truly exceptional. I just want to point that out to you. Those things don't come easy, especially from that man. And then, best band commander seen in 33 years, Lieutenant General Allardyce. Top tier squadron commander, number 1 of 8 MAGCOM public affairs officers from the Chief of Public Affairs Air Mobility Command. Christina is a recipient of the United States Air Force's Best Integrated Communication Award. And then finally, and I could go on, but finally, from our Chief of Staff, 4-star General Mark Welsh, quote, thanks for making us all look good. Unquote. So you guys get the picture. But Cristina, of course, did not achieve these things alone. The love and support of many, her parents, Jim and Stea, joining us today back in Houston, Texas, making all the difference throughout her impressive career service. In describing her parents and the sacrifices they made throughout their lives, from raising Cristina in the Nebraska Panhandle farm town of Kimball to supporting Christina's development as a musician and her entry into the service of our nation, Cristina sums it up thus, quote, both of my parents are my heroes. And so to Christina's entire extended family, thank you for lending us this incredible person, gifted musician, and superb officer. We are truly, truly grateful. Cristina is absolutely the right officer to take command of the Band of the Pacific, and I am quite certain she'll continue to lead the band on the impressive trajectory so well begun by her predecessor, Captain Armstrong. And so, without further ado, it is with the utmost confidence and extremely high personal and professional regard that I welcome and congratulate Cristina on taking command of the Band of the Pacific. But before we conduct a formal change of command, please stand with me as we present the Air Force Commendation Medal to the esteemed current commander of the Band of the Pacific, Captain Haley Armstrong, and thank her and her family one more time with a well-deserved round of applause.
Attention to orders. This is to certify that the Air Force Commendation Medal, 2nd Oak Leaf Cluster, has been awarded to Captain Haley S. Armstrong for meritorious service from 18 July 2012 to 21 July 2015. Special Order Number GB-18. Captain Haley S. Armstrong distinguished herself by meritorious service as Commander, United States Air Force Band of the Pacific, Yokota Air Base, Japan. During this period, Captain Armstrong's exceptional leadership carried the band through significant changes and limits while directing more than 300 missions annually to audiences throughout the Indo-Asia Pacific region. She managed the deactivation of the band's Alaska detachment, realigning missions, and disseminating equipment among the 2 remaining detachments. Her efforts resulted in recapitalizing and saving the Air Force $1.1 million. Despite heavy sequestration restrictions, she revectored community outreach efforts, boosting total engagements by 54%. Captain Armstrong's strategic outlook resulted in the band achieving significant firsts, like Malaysian exercise participation, directing 10 missions with Air Force messages reaching 3,500 people. She organized and pushed approval from Defense Department levels for engagements in both China and Vietnam, firsts for any Air Force band in more than 40 years. Unabashed by hostile crowds, Captain Armstrong drove the first performance by an Air Force band in Miyakojima in Okinawa, Japan. winning over protesters with 5 tactically significant engagements. Ultimately, her efforts led to her being named the 2015 Pacific Air Force's Public Affairs Outstanding Company Grade Officer Communicator. The distinctive accomplishments of Captain Armstrong reflect great credit upon herself and the United States Air Force. Thank you. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander of the Air Force Band of the Pacific, Captain Haley Armstrong.
ありがとうございます。ご着席ください。皆様、太平洋空軍音楽隊の隊長、ヘイリー・アームストロング隊です。
Thank you, Sergeant Bradley. Thank you, Yagi-san. And also thank you, Colonel Del Mater, for the kind words, but also for presiding over today's ceremony. It's a little unorthodox, but you have given us so much support, and we feel so much a part of this team that it means a lot for me that you could do this today. So thank you. Also, I need to thank my family. They will be watching this later, but my husband Dave and my parents have been so supportive of all the crazy things I've done in my 15 years of the Air Force and in my life, and so I love them very much, and I'm glad I could have them with me in spirit and in mind. I've also received a lot of support from this wing in general. Chief Elliot Mickey, all of the wing agencies, the chaplains, the support squadrons, my wing PA folks back in the back. It's like we're all completely a part of this team, and I've had a lot of different experiences being a partner unit, but here there's no separation. And so thank you all for being here. Thank you all for all your support and for everything. And then outside this wing, we have such a great community. And I know from all of our Japanese partners, my favorite part of this assignment was when I got to be in the community, working right alongside all of our international friends. So for my Japanese friends here today, thank you for your support, and I hope the band continues to help you as you build our relationships of America and Japan together. And I'm sure I'll see lots of stories back in the States of what you're doing, so thank you so much. We also have wonderful partners here in 5th Air Force, AFN, USFJ that have included me in their lives as well. To Colonel Hoffman and the rest of the USFJ PA team, thanks for letting me come to your weekly meeting so I knew what was going on in Japan. But also, sir, thank you for the mentorship and the guidance and the friendship of the team, just to keep my spirits going. And so, again, so many people have connected with our band, and it speaks wonders. And then we didn't get the VTC working, but back at PACAF is one of our most supportive teams. From their A5 community, Colonel Warner, and all of our plans folks, to our finance folks, Ms. Cote, who keeps us going with our missions, and then finally to Colonel Honchel, my supervisor, and the PACAF PA team. They support us day in, day out, regardless of what time zone they're in and what country we're in. And sir, you've been a huge supervisor for me and helped me through a lot of different things. And I knew you were always there, even if we couldn't see each other on a day-to-day basis. So, and I have some great friends in Hawaii who are going to stay with me forever because of that. And then also today is really and truly about the bands. Both our bands who have re-blued me, as they say in this assignment, and taught me, like Colonel De La Mater said, that what we do matters. And throughout our careers, we're a small part of the Air Force, and sometimes we struggle to find our footing, but what we do matters, and this assignment has helped me see that again. And what we do internationally is something that no one else can do, and it's unique and it's special, and I just hope that you enjoy every second of it, because it's been too short. And although it's been busy, it's been great. And for my musicians, just remember that none of this support and none of our missions would matter if you didn't put out extremely exceptional musical products, which you've given me every day for 3 years, and I know you'll keep doing, but don't forget about that. Because when you get into the paperwork and the politics and everything else, if that starts to slide, people won't respond to your missions unless you just keep killing it musically. And so for all my band members, you know, push each other, help each other, but don't lose sight of the power of the music that you're doing. So that's just my goal for you, and again, I hope to see great stories coming out as well. And ma'am, if you don't mind, if I indulge, this is a different assignment, so I have a few bits of wisdom that might help as you're doing this international experience. My first bit of wisdom that I think everyone in this room would say is when you're TDY in Japan, trust Yagi-san. He will get us where we need to go, when we need to go, even if I don't understand what's going on. But more importantly, Yagi-san cares for the mission, he cares for the partnership, and he cares for the people. And so when you're out and about, he's got your back. And then when you're out in Hawaii, those are some of the most busy and stressful TDYs that I get the pleasure of having.
But it's Hawaii.
But it's Hawaii! So don't forget about those amazing people and their families. The musicians out there are creative and energized, and so I hope you get a lot of time with them. But also, you're a lucky person who has a part-time office in a tropical island, so there you go, my present to you, ma'am.
Well, thank you.
Left it just the way it was. But also, trust the PACAF leadership. It's a little scary here. We're a day ahead, but a lot of things happen in the middle of the night, coming out of DC, coming out of Hawaii, and it took me a while to realize that PACAF's got our back. And you know, you wake up, you get that email that some big announcement happened, they're already working it for us. They are 100% invested in our mission and understand where we're headed, so I hope that you can work with them and understand them as well. And then finally, my last bit of wisdom would be to trust these band members. I saved it to last so I didn't break down, but the senior leadership that I've had, from Chief Noel, Chief Fitz, who is now in Hawaii but back in Japan a little bit, and then Senior Master Sergeant Noel as well, and soon to be Senior Master Sergeant Kuntz, who just arrived. These senior leaders are tasked with so much on our behalf because of how we're separated, and they are exceptional. And then it's not just the senior leaders. Every member of our command has been tasked above what we normally ask of them because of our size and our distance. And I gotta tell you, they've never let me down. And I've seen senior airmen taking on full bird colonels in foreign countries professionally and getting the mission done. And I've seen master sergeants doing chief work and everywhere in between. And so trust these guys. They have your back and they will take the mission and run it. So ma'am, that's really all I've got for you. Good luck. It should be a wonderful experience. And to my bands, thank you for making so many memories with me and for me over the last 3 years. And to everyone here, thank you for your support. This is a different job than I ever thought I would have, and I couldn't have done it without every single person here. So thank you. I hope to see you soon in the future. And arigatou gozaimashita. And thank you so much for everything.
Thank you, ma'am. The men and women of the Band of the Pacific are proud to have served with you and wish you and your family good luck in your future endeavors.
最初はありがとうございました。太平洋空軍音楽隊の隊員は隊長の下で働き演奏ができたことを光栄に思います。そして隊長とご家族の将来のご活躍を記念いたします。
Ladies and gentlemen, the formal change of command.
交代式を始めます。
Publish the order.
Under the provisions of Air Force Instruction 51-604 and Special Order Number 15-016, Captain Haley Armstrong relinquishes command of the Band of the Pacific to Major Cristina Urrutia, effective 9 July 2015.
空軍規則 51-604 とスペシャルオーダーナンバー 15-016 の規定に基づき2015年7月9日を有効とし、ヘイリー・アームストロング隊員の太平洋音楽隊の指揮権はクリスティーナ・モア・ウルティア少佐へと移行いたします。
Sir, I relinquish command.
Sir, assume command.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
どうぞお立ちください。
Ladies and gentlemen, I present for the first time the Commander, Air Force Band of the Pacific, Major Cristina Moore Urrutia.
皆様、大変お願いします。
Wow. This is a very humbling experience. Sir, thank you so much for hosting us. Really appreciate all of your words. Frankly, are a little embarrassing because as an officer, we know we do so. Hopefully, we empower others. And when they write those words, it's not about us; it's about all of you. So please receive that. For all the band members, I could not do any of what I do without you, and I'm really excited about joining this team. Haley obviously has started and continued a fantastic tradition here, and so I look forward to continuing on that. For all the partners that are here with us, such a pleasure to have you here. It says a lot about music and what music can do for our relationships. I look forward to continuing those in the future, and I just look forward to hearing from you what we can do, how we can best serve you in that capacity. So thank you so much for being here today on this special day. Colonel Honchel, sir, thank you for your faith in me, for being able to take on this position. I do not take that lightly. I know that command is one of those joys of an officer that is rare for many career fields, and while we are able to do it more often than some, I do not take it lightly, and I really appreciate your faith in me to be able to take on this mission. This mission, frankly, is amazing. In the few days and in the time past that Haley and I have been able to talk about what this band does for the Air Force, for our nation, and for Japan, and other countries throughout the world. It's just, frankly, amazing. It's hard to get your head around it and to see what an impact we have as music, where, as Haley said, it's unique. It's something that no other military unit can do, and frankly, sometimes no other diplomatic unit can do. So I'm so grateful to be able to be part of this. I look forward to serving with you all. I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you. For all the partner team members that are here today, thank you for being here. It shows a lot of what she has done, and it's my desire to continue that on and to build on those relationships. And please let us know how we can best serve you, because it's truly what we do. We exist to serve as best we can. So thank you so much for the time, for setting all of this up. It's a short ceremony, but it sure has a wallop of an impact on me personally. So I look forward to it. Thank you. I will end there. I look forward to just getting to know you all in a much less formal setting. Thank you all.
Thank you, Major Moore Urrutia. On behalf of all the men and women of the Band of the Pacific, we welcome you.
モア・ウルティア少佐、ありがとうございます。太平洋空軍音楽隊を代表し、あなたを喜んでお迎えいたします。
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's change of command ceremony. On behalf of our presiding official, the 374th Airlift Wing Commander, Colonel De La Mater, we thank you all for attending today's ceremony.
皆様、これで本日の交代式を終了いたします。執行官である第374空輸航空団司令官デラマタ大佐に成り代わり、今日ご列席いただきました皆様にお礼を申し上げます。
We would like you to join us for a receiving line on your way out to welcome Major Moore Urrutia. Also, as a thank you for your support during Captain Armstrong's tenure as commander, please enjoy a homemade cupcake as you depart the building.
モア・ウルティア少佐がご挨拶いたしまして、どうぞ皆様お帰りの際、部屋の前方の方にお越しいただきたいと思います。またアームストロング隊より在任中の皆様の支援に感謝の印といたしまして、手作りのカップケーキを用意しておりますのでご賞味いただきたいと思います。
And now please rise to the playing of the Air Force song and remain standing for the departure of the official party.
それでは
Off we go into the wild blue yonder, running high into the sun. Here we come, singing to meet our thunder. Atta boys, give her the gun, give her the gun. Down we dive, spouting our flames from under. Off with one hell of a roll.